Hey interwebs, Angie here, and we are talking Love is Blind. Thanks for joining me. If that's what you're into, then pull up a seat and stay for a while. And if you like what you hear, then click the channel below and check out Faith Over Everything podcast that I host with my sister if you would like to hear more. Until then, let's jump into this TV show. Okay, we are doing Love is Blind episode 4. It is titled The Tables Have Turned. Okay, because they have. All right. So we start this episode off. Y'all know the last episode we left off with Leo and Hannah. And he is pretty much begging her to be his boo thing, be my girl. Come on, be my baby tonight. Okay. Come on, be my baby tonight. If you know what that is, then you can sit with me. If you're not, if you don't know what that is, then maybe just too young. I don't know. Anyway, we're back with these people, and it starts with him asking, if I asked you to marry me right now, what would you say? And he's going on a tangent about how he was with his other date, dang near pulling out his hair, like something along the lines when he was with on the date with Brittany, and how he kind of was just like, going racking his brain and pulling out his hair and like wishing that like he would have been Hannah's first date for the night. Then he started hating on Nick really, really bad. And he's like, with Nick, you're like his only connection. And, I'm not saying that, he doesn't love you, but I'm not saying it might not be real. And that he really basically only said it because that's the only person that he has. And then he's asking her like, are you sure that he's the best person for you, or is it just because he was the first to say I love you? Like, are you saying, did you say you love him back because he said it first? Like, but I'm like, but weren't you just whining about how you wish that you were her first date? Like, you wanted her to be the first date for you for the day? Because now it's giving that that's what you would have done. Like, if you knew that Hannah was on the verge of leaving you, you would have told her you loved her just to make her stay. So just because that's what you would do, now you're trying to make it seem like that's what Nick did, and I don't like that. Again, not saying that Nick is a saint. Like, for all I know, who knows? Nick might have did that, but as of right now, there's no proof. All I know is I need Leo to get up out of here. So then Hannah asked, why are you just not telling me this? Like, why are you saying all this stuff now? And he's like, I was going to tell you tonight. Um, I was going to talk to you about this today. It was just going to be in a different way, but I was going to say this, and I still have another connection, but yet here I am. I'm still fighting for you. And it's like, Leo, you're not getting the fact that, like, yeah, you're fighting for me, but you're also not saying I will give up that connection for you. You're like, I'm fighting for you to still be an option. Like, I don't, he is just very irritating. Um, Hannah was like, basically like, this is just really catching me off guard. I really just thought that you would be fine and that you would just kind of focus on your connection with Brittany. Um, and I agree. Like, why wouldn't you just focus on your connection with Brittany? He goes on a tangent about how he is fighting to find the right person for him because he takes marriage so serious. And I'm like, sir, then again, like Hannah said, once she said, so if I'm trying to find the right person for me and I'm torn between two people, and I'm like, oh Lord, which one is for me? Like, I really don't know which person I should pick. And then one person comes to me and says, hey, it's been great, but I found another connection. I'm going to go be with that person. That's your answer. That's all you need to hear. Is if you're torn and you can't make the decision, if this person says, I'm going to go be with that person, guess what? That person wasn't for you. Because if they were for you, they would have been choosing you. So the fact that she's not choosing you, she's made the decision so much easier for you. Not to say that that means now that you have to settle, it just makes it easier for you to be like, okay, I like them both. I really didn't know which one, but now I see it is her. Hannah's confused, and she's like, I just don't know because I mean, he playing mind games with her, and so now she over there crying, and she's like, I'm confused. I love you both, and this man Leo says, I love you. I love you, Hannah. I mean, and I love my other connection too. I said, Hannah, get up and leave right now. Because you are over there. She is an emotional wreck. Okay. And I get that now she's heard two men tell her that they love her, but you've also heard one of those men say, I love her too. So, ma'am, why are you still sitting here? He's basically just sitting there begging her to be an option and trying to pressure her into making a decision like right now. Like, just tell me, is it are you gonna continue with him? Are you gonna blah 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 blah? And you asking her all this stuff and you can't even make a decision in the moment. You're not saying I will give Brittany up for you right now if you choose to be with me. If you leave, if you say, Nick, I don't want to be with you, I will leave Brittany right now and it'll just be me and you. But you're saying if you give up Nick right now, I will still try to figure out if it's you or Brittany. Whatever reason, they decide to just table the conversation because, again, he's trying to pressure her into making a decision. And she's like, I just can't do this right now. I don't want to do this. Like, and so he's like, okay, that's fine. We'll talk about it later. And they leave. Lord Jesus, get these people off my screen. The next scene is a really quick scene with Marissa and Bodon, and I feel like that was just more of a filler, just to kind of give us a little bit of a break from what we had just witnessed with Leo and Hannah, because cha, they worked the nerve on me. Um, they just have a quick little date. They're connecting on their shared ideals, and that's about it. Like that's all I really got from that scene. Um, which to me was kind of like foreshadowing because if it's only a little bit of snippet of something that they give us, I feel like that may not be the right connection, but you just never know. But that's just how I felt. The next scene, we get Tim and Alex. Tim gifts her a bracelet that his older sister gave to the younger sister. And he believes that, his sisters would have loved her. So he thinks it's an appropriate gift. And he wants to show her how much he cares for her by entrusting her with this gift that's so special and so sacred to him. We find out their last names. Her last name is Bird, and his last name is Godby. And because his last name has B in it, they start talking about the birds and the bees or whatever. They have a painting date, like they have both have easels on their side and they're painting, but they don't know what the other person is painting. And she was like, "Well, I think you probably gonna be painting the same thing." And then he's like, "You're not gonna tell me what you paint?" And she's like, "No, you just have to see, but I have a feeling we probably painting, the same thing." So I'm like, okay, we'll probably see those pictures later. And the next scene, we get Monica and Steven. They are expressing how happy they are to have found one another, very sappy. um, and then in that scene, Steven proposes. Monica says that she loves him and that she's waited her whole life for him. And she said that, I love that you are in her like per what is it after he proposed in her like speech to talk about how much she loved him. She says like, I love that you are so proud of the fact that you barely black. And that was so funny to me. She was like, you so proud to be barely black. And but with that, you've been intentional about learning about your West African culture. So it was funny and cute at the same time. So Marissa, Monica and Steven are officially our third couple. So we are on couple number 3 for the season, y'all. Um, in the next scene, we get Ramses and Marissa. Marissa came in with questions. She's like, "Are you handy? Can you mount a TV? Like, can you fix stuff? Like, I need to know. Like, I need to know what you can do, honey. Okay, I need to know." They realized that neither one of them had even gotten each other's age, and then they shared their birthdays and their signs. I think I have their ages from before, but I can't remember. I know he's a little older than her. I think she's like 31 and he's like 34, something of that nature. But they got the zodiac sign, and she asked about his sun sign, and I don't know any of that. I'm not into the zodiac like that. Um, but yeah, she was like, I guess it goes sun, moon, and rising. Those are the signs. All I know is just that I'm a Taurus. That's it. I don't want to know nothing else. Okay, that's all I need to know. And I really don't even care about that if I'm being honest. But that's just me. But anywho, he says that he is a Cancer Leo, and that's all she needed to hear. Okay, that baby was jumping off the moon, jumping off the ceiling. She like, oh, that's a great response. Okay, she goes back to the women's quarters and she's like, oh my God, he said he was a Cancer Leo, and she just is over the moon. Um, and I'm like, okay, I love that for you, I guess. We see Bodon and Marissa. He is very into her. He's telling production, like, how much he likes her, and that it has a good sense. Like, I'm good. I know when a woman is into me. And I kind of figured that wasn't the line to say. Now, to be fair, oops, sorry. To be fair, they probably, I don't know, he probably didn't say that right before he went into this meeting with her, but production, they be messy. So they show him like, oh, I know when a woman is into me, just for him to go into the pods with Marissa. And she like, yeah, we need to talk. And she went just right into how, her feelings for Ramses is stronger. He took it very well. He's like, there's no hard feelings, and that he's, very happy for them. So then we go to the women's quarters. Alex is asking Hannah, like, did you break it off with Leo? And she's like, Leo wouldn't let me. And they're like, they hate that for Brittany because why? Why are you acting like that? So Hannah says that she thinks Brittany is a wonderful person and that she thought Leo was a wonderful person, but now she feels like he's trying to manipulate her. And I was just like, yes, Hannah, yes. Like, I get in the moment she probably was just overwhelmed. He was doing too much, and it's like, you do still like him, but then you like Nick, and Nick said I love you, and so now you're over here with Nick, and now you come in with this dude, and you think that he just gonna let you go, and then instead try to fight for you, and you just like, wait, I'm just confused. What is going on? What is going on? So that's why she's like, let me take the time. Well, she had her time, and she's like, no, I think he's being manipulative, and I think he's trying to manipulate me, and I don't like that, and I think Brittany deserves to know what happened and how he reacted. And so then we see her go tell her. They didn't show a lot of it. She was just like, he was yelling, and whatever. So she kind of gives Brittany enough to know. Then we go over to the men's quarters. And y'all, why is Leo over there telling the men that Hannah was crying and that she was so emotional that she couldn't even like, I can't even talk. I'm so mad. It was like she couldn't even form words. He's like, oh, she was just, I tried to be as direct as I could with her, and she was just so emotional. She couldn't form words. Nick is sitting right there. And it's like he very much was trying to make Nick jealous. And this, I be telling y'all, my man Nikki D, I don't know. Y'all know what I'm saying. Nikki D, until you prove me wrong, or like until you show me something, because I don't know you to be proved right. I ain't gotta be proved right. But until you show me something, I'm with you when you're right. Okay. And right now, Nick is right. So he trying to make Nick feel jealous. Nick said, listen, we affirmed our feelings for each other yesterday, and we told each other I love you like 10 times, and she told me I'm the one. So that ain't got nothing to do with me. Whatever's going on with you and her, that's between you and her, but I know what's going on between me and her, and I love her and she loved me, and that's all I need to hear. And I said, and that part, okay, period, period, honey, period. So um Leo, hold on, I'm sorry, y'all. I had to turn my computer on do not disturb because I don't want nothing to come through. So yeah, so he just is trying hard to break them up, and Nick not going. So in our next scene, of course, we get Hannah and Leo. So they're meeting up again after that whole situation that happened earlier, and she needed her time. So Leo comes in and he apologizes, for how he came at her the night before, and that he was sorry, that he was like, trying to pressure her, and that he will be sorry for the rest of his days. Y'all can't tell me that people do people talk like this for real? Have you ever told someone that you'll be sorry for the rest of your days? Like, I could see being like, oh, I will regret that for the rest of my life. I'm sorry. I wish I never did that. Like, but I will be sorry for the rest of my days. Nobody says that. Well, I don't know anybody that says that. Anyway, he's like, do you forgive me? And she's like, she forgives him and tells him that she feels stronger for Nick. Leo responds with the fact, Leo responds and says, you know what? The fact is, we're just not compatible. Y'all, Man's did a whole 180. Like yesterday, baby, please, on my knees, begging you, don't go. Please don't go. Is that what Tank said? Please don't go. And today he like chucking up the deuces. Where what are you talking about? We not compatible. Really? Really? And he goes on to say, you know what? I get it. Like Nick, he's everything I'm not. He's calm, he's collected, he's wise, he's compassionate. He's just better for you. And like throughout their conversation, he kept saying stuff like, and then Nick, oh yeah, he's great, he's awesome. You'll be better off with him. Like it was like he was trying to sell Nick and trying to make her think that Nick is good when she didn't already chose Nick. So I was like, he's phrasing it as if he's helping her realize that Nick is a better choice, but she knows this already. And that's why she chose him. She chose him. You don't have to tell her. She even went on to say, like, when he was saying, like, she was like, I know that. I've known that this entire time. He's my person. He's her lobster. Y'all watch Friends? He's her lobster, or she's his lobster. Whatever. They go together. Okay. And he's like, oh, that's exactly how I feel about Brittany. And, me and Brittany were meant to be. And then he goes on to say that he would hate to lose Brittany after all that he put her through. Great phrasing, because you have put her through a lot. And then he asked Hannah, when you go back, can you like, you talk about it, tell Brittany that this was that it was a mutual decision. Because, just tell her how, because in his mind, even though we know that he came in, you were just in the men's quarter talking to the guys, including Nick, about how, you basically just want to come in here and make the right decision for you. And, trying to make it seem like, Hannah was so upset about you and you just want to, and we all know that you was just begging, please don't go. Now you want to make it seem like, oh, we both decided that we didn't want to be together. No, she decided. You are trying to save face. So now he's like, can you go back and just tell her that it was a mutual decision? Because I do genuinely care for her, and I don't want her to feel like she was a second option. Like, I'm talking to you, like this whole time I've been talking to you, but like the whole time I've literally been thinking about Brittany. She was like, then why did you do all of that last night? And I said, good. Hannah, you be asking the right questions, okay? Because why was you doing all of that? What was the reason? What was the reason? I know what the reason is. You ain't never had two things, and you was like, I want to see how I can do this, and you ain't know how to do it right. He said the reason was because he said he was mad because he thought they were both going to take more time to make an informed decision. But Brittany, she was who my heart always wanted. And that yesterday morning he told production that he wanted to cancel his date with Hannah. And she was like, no, that's not what you said yesterday. Because last night you was telling her that you was mad that you didn't get to go on a date with her first. And I said, Leo, you don't know how to lie, baby. And listen, I don't know how to lie. I'm not a good liar. And you're not a good liar. But the difference between me and you is that I know I can't lie. So I don't try. I don't try to do it. Like, sir, you're trying and you're horrible at it. He said, well, I'm not trying to sit here and talk about Brittany. Hannah said, good, because that's y'all business. Brittany is a great girl, and I'm not going to go back and talk to her about you. I'm not discussing you further with her. That's not my business. That's y'all business. So he is trying really hard to make it seem like he's so happy for her and Nick, and that, he's so happy to give. He's so happy to have that like the clarity on Brittany, because, he's just always wanted Brittany, and it's always been Brittany. Okay, sir, we believe you. So then the next scene, we get the women back in the women's quarters, and Hannah is talking to Brittany and Ashley. and they ask how it went, and she tells them, like, basically she just kind of tell them the truth. She tells them how, like, he asked her to come back and say that it was a mutual decision, and he tried to front like, it had always been Brittany, and asked her to tell Brittany how much he loves her, and she's like, he wanted me to tell you how much he cares about you and how much he loves you, but I mean, I told him I'm not going to do that because I don't know if I believe it. I don't know if it's true. And so Brittany was like, I don't know either. Hannah's just like, girl, whatever, it's your decision. It's above me now. Okay. It is above me now. That's on you. Boo boo. Okay. Um, just a mess. Just a mess. The next thing we get Tim and Alex. We do get their reveals for their paintings. Remember, they had their painting date. He painted a bird and a bee, and she painted a bee. So they were kind of similar in their thought process. He reads a letter that he wrote to her father. Y'all, my child is in the background, so if you hear him talking, that's why. He reads a letter to her that he wrote to her father, vowing to treat his daughter right and asking for her hand in marriage. And then he stands up and asks her, he asks her to stand up, and then he proposes. And now we are on couple number 4. So yay, Tim and Alex. Next, we get to our Monica and Steven reveal. The doors open. They see each other. I was a little nervous. I didn't know what I don't know what their types are. But they see each other. And when I tell you, they shared a nice full kiss. Like, they kissed, and I think she got lightheaded because she was like, I need to. He was like, let's go sit down. Um, they sit down. He gets on his knee. He put the ring on her finger. They have a cute moment where they both get up and twirl for each other. Steven was like posing, whatever. Then they kiss a few more times, and their kisses are intense, like take my breath away type kisses. Like, we kiss, and then it's just like not even like make out sessions. It's just intense. I don't know. Um, I hope they really like each other. I hope they make it work. I'm not sure. Something about the vibe is a little off for me, but it ain't my relationship. He gives her his shirt to sleep in for the night, and she's just like over the moon, or whatever. The next thing we get is Ramses and Marissa. She came into the pod and found a letter that he wrote her. She reads it out loud. Of course, it's a love letter. She lets him know that she called things off with Bowden, and they go into a conversation about how they balance each other out. Now, I will say one thing I liked about this scene is I think it's better, or it was better for the person to give the letter to the other person. Um, I don't know. It doesn't matter, but I think it's better to read the words than to read. I don't know. I don't know. That's just me. Um, I thought that it was nice that she could come in and read what he said as opposed to listen, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Anywho, the next scene is Nikki D and Hannah. They come in and they are affirming each other on how much they love each other. Nick asked her to stand up, so y'all know what that means. Okay. My man popped the question, and now we have couple number 5. We are getting up there. Okay. 5 couples, and we still got episodes left. I mean, granted, I know we're going to go on the little retreat and everything, but I'm like, oof, we still got to resolve some other couples, and we on 5 already. But yep, we got couple number 5, Nick and Hannah. I will clap for them too. Okay. Because listen, never would have made it. Next, we have our Tim and Alex reveal. And let me tell you guys, I was not. I was disappointed. Okay. Because the doors open. Tim says, I knew it. I knew you was fine. And I love that reaction. It was great. I'm like, okay, okay. She's smiling and stuff. They hug, they kiss. But then Tim hands her the ring, and she just put it on herself. Like, I don't know. It was just like, wait, so you just, and it wasn't even like he made a big deal out of it. Like, oh, even if, like, there's a way you could have done it, it would, it still could have been romantic. But it was just like, he just opened the box, took the ring out, gave it to her. She put it on her finger. And I was like, that made me nervous. And my gut is telling me that this may be foreshadowing that this not gonna work. And then when they were in the pods, I guess he talked about being a dog a lot. Like I remember he did make a comment about something about a dog. Not that I mean he did say that he was a dog, prior, but when he was talking to her, they must have had like him joking about, because I'm a dog, blah blah blah, and I'm a dog. And I guess they had that conversation in the pods, and she was like, dude, that's irritating or it's annoying. And then he just kept saying it. And then she was laughing, but it seemed like she may have really been getting annoyed. And like the whole time she was annoyed, he thought it was funny. I don't know. I don't know. But they did seem to be into each other. I know at one moment they were talking, and then like she had to tell him to like my eyes are up here because she did have on like a low cut dress. And she's just like, my eyes are right here, and he was like, well, I'm a dog. But Tim, I don't know, Tim. Old habits die hard, I guess. I don't know. Um, and then for the last scene, we get Leo and Britt. Leo comes in, laying it on thick. Mind you, he ain't never told her he loved her. He like, oh, Brittany, I'm so in love with you. I love you so much. And she was like, well, can I read you a letter? And he's like, sure. And so she's reading this letter and she's explaining how hurt she is, that how everybody knows what happened between him, her, and Hannah, or what happened between him and Hannah, really, like what you did and how you reacted. And so now she feels like their relationship, Brittany and Leo's relationship, is tainted, and that um everybody else knows it. And so now she feels like if she does get with him, everybody's going to feel like she's settling for him, and then everybody's going to think that like you were his second choice. And she's like, that's what she feared would happen. Like my biggest fear is this is what I feared would happen, and it has happened. And he was like, well, I'm going to keep telling you I love you. I'm going to keep telling you I love you because I know you like hearing it. I'm like, what? And that's how the episode ends, with him telling her, like, she's telling him, like, I'm hurt. This, you did this, that, and the third. And he's like, well, I'm just gonna keep telling you I love you because I know you like hearing it. And I'm like, how are you fixing it? Telling me that you love me doesn't explain why you did what you did, why you said the things that you said. You're not even trying to explain what happened, why it happened. Like, you're just telling me you love me. And that furthermore makes me think that Leo is trash. Like, not makes me think, like, Leo been trash, in my opinion. I'm so sorry. He's probably, he's trash in a relationship. That's what I mean. I don't want to be like that, but he is. But yes, it's just like, sir, I don't know what? Like, what are you doing? Why are you here? What was the reason? Do you even know how to love? It's very much giving. And this is what I honestly think. I do think that Leo probably comes from money. And like I said before, he's a brat. So he doesn't know how to, he just knows how to he gets what he wants when he wants it because he has money. And he thinks because he has money, he doesn't have to actually put in all the work. Like, no, sir, a relationship is work. And even though Brittany, like, I want to be a trophy wife, I want to be the trophy wife that you chose from the rip. Okay, you're not about to be like, oh, just because you got money, I'm settling for you. Because Brittany already told us if she wants to marry for money, she could already did that. And I believe her. But yeah, I hate that for Brittany. We're gonna have to see what happens in episode 5, but I hope that she stand on business, but I feel like she might cave. But we will see what happens in episode 5. You guys comment below, let me know what your thoughts are. Do you agree with me? What am I missing? Did something that I missed, something that you thought was important that I didn't catch? We think about Tim just handing Alex the ring. Um, it could have just been a moment. Maybe he was nervous. Maybe, I don't know. But let me know what you think. In the meantime, again, click on the channel, check out Faith Over Everything podcast, and I will talk to you guys in episode 5. Ta-ta.